Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy, Simeon Russell, and I'm here. We ready to go. The hurricane's not getting me. It seemed to calm down a little bit. I still, pray for those folks who are in the path, but, there's still supposed to be some crazy flooding down south. So I'm, praying for those folks. Hopefully everything is okay with them. But I'm here, and we're going to get started and talk some New York Knicks. Knicks family, what is poppin'? What's going on with you, man? I'm glad to be here tonight. Luckily, the hurricane is going to not really hit Maryland, so I'm definitely happy about that, but I still feel for those folks who are in its path. I'll be watching the news, checking it out, to see what exactly happened. And to be honest with you, if there's anything that I can do at all to help out down that way, I definitely will. So I'm praying for those people that, all the flood warnings and the wave surges and those type of things, that they'll be okay. So hopefully you keep them in your prayers as well. I've had a pretty good day. I told you guys earlier, maybe a few months ago, about my daughter who was being recruited by a private school here in Maryland. And she's decided that she does want to attend. So now we're working with the school to see, what kind of financial, if there's any kind of financial scholarship or available. So she's excited about it. I'm excited about it. And I'm actually going to be, if all goes well and she is playing there, and I'm excited that she's decided to play there. So we'll see what happens there. But if so, I will be an assistant coaching. That was one of the things that I told the coach, and so we'll see. And then my wife will be also helping out, doing some things with the Booster Club and some stuff like that. So, this is going to be a fun and exciting time, if everything goes well. It should be a pretty good time, man. So I'm excited. I know she's excited. She's looking forward to having a good junior year. And I see someone ask, Stephen Kennedy Jr. says, is she a hooper? Yeah, she plays. Actually, she just started playing in the 9th grade, and she's made crazy development from the 9th grade to now. So much development that, people look at just her form and her work ethic and those type of things, and they say, wow, she's a baller. And, so she plays ball anytime she can. And, she plays with our local community college. She plays against them. She does camps with them. She plays, and when she plays with them, when they have open gyms, there's professional players there. There's D1 players there. So, she still has a lot to learn, but she's getting it. She's doing it. So that's what's up. So I'm definitely, I told you guys I'd keep you updated, about what was going down with it and how it was happening. So I just wanted to keep you updated and let you know how things were going. So it's going to be a ride for the next 2 years. You know what I mean? Jerome Cornette, he said, wow, she must be nice. Well, she's getting there. She has a lot to learn about just the game of basketball. Like I said, she started playing just 2 years ago. So, and when I say she started playing 2 years ago, I really mean she started playing. I don't mean just playing, just started playing organized ball. I mean, just started playing basketball. You know what I mean? She just started playing basketball. She played for one season in the 3rd grade. Right? She played for one season in the 3rd grade, and then she went into dance and she went into gymnastics. She's always been someone who, just has a lot of interest and likes to do things. And then when she got into the 9th grade, they didn't have the sport that she wanted to play in the fall. So she said, well, I'll try basketball. And I'm going to tell you what, she couldn't breathe and walk on the court at the same time. Seriously, she could not. If you guys would have seen her then, you'd be like, whoa. You like, Sim, you need to get her off the court before she gets hurt. Seriously. Because she couldn't breathe and walk on the court at the same time. Now, she really looks like a legitimate basketball player. Still has a lot to learn. She's really got to improve her handle a lot. So we were out at the court today doing left hand work, so we can improve that. But she's developing nicely. She's doing very well. So I'm definitely proud of her. And listen, you guys say it really has little to do with me and more to do with her work ethic, to be honest with you. I show her things and what she needs to do, and give her drills to work on and help her correct things. But it's her. She's the one who's going out and putting in the work. And really, I tell that to all my players. All my players. You hear so many coaches, and it's something I kind of ragged on David Fizdale about a few episodes ago. Right? But it's something that I tell all of my players. There's not one coach that's going to take you there. You know what I mean? There's not one coach that's going to turn you into a star. There's not one coach that can guarantee you a scholarship. There's not one coach or a scout or a trainer that can guarantee you're going to get a professional contract. It's on you. You know what I mean? So when you hear a coach say, I'm going to do this for you, or I'm going to make you into this, I'm going to turn you into this, they're selling you a pipe dream. Because everything is dependent on the player. The coach can be a resource, but everything is dependent upon the player. How much work is that player going to put in? Is that player going to be coachable? Everything depends on the player. Everything. So yeah, she puts the work in, man. She puts the work in. And Ember, the great, you said, I'm setting a good example. I try as hard as I can. I'm not perfect by any means, of course. None of us are. But I try, the best that I can. But like I said, she really does go out there and put the work in, and tries to get better every single day. She watches basketball, tries to tries to break down the game. She reads books about basketball, like Basketball for Dummies. I had a Basketball for Dummies coaching book. She read the book. So she's on her way. We'll see where it goes. You know what I mean? We'll see where it goes. She's on her way. So, big up. Congratulations to her. And me and my wife are definitely proud at, what she's doing. You know what I mean? So, and I'll keep you updated with how things go and how things go with with that school. I will say that school was 0-11 last year, or whatever it was. Not that they didn't have talent, but they played in the league where that's how it was. So, but they're trying to build it up. They actually, last year was their first year getting the girls program back. They hadn't had a program in a while. It's a school that a few years back, and I don't want to even say a few years back, maybe 10 to 15 years ago, they were a powerhouse. They were a powerhouse in basketball. You know what I mean? But then, I don't know, they got into some kind of trouble with some kind of NCAA violations or something like that. They also had some issues with accreditation, so the program fell, right? But now it's coming back. It's on the upswing. The boys program won their league last year. They got a really good boys team. They're rebuilding the girls team. They're trying to rebuild the program. They're bringing in money so that they can add to the facilities. They just built a new basketball gym like maybe 3 years ago. Now they want to add more to the facility. So it's a program that's up and coming, and the enrollment is getting higher. So, we want to be part of it, and she wants to be part of it. So it's going to be a fun ride, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. I got some guys in the video chat. I got Isaiah in the video chat. I got Guillermo in the video chat. I got Viv in the video chat. I got Ant in the video chat. So we're going to get down tonight for sure. We're going to get down tonight because I have a serious topic I want to approach. Something that, I don't know, something I heard today that I'm not too happy about. I don't know how true it is, but I'm not too happy about it. And you can see it on the screen. Do not play for Kyrie. And I'm going to explain to you what that means. You know what I mean? Because I'm really serious about this. I'm going to explain to you what that means. Guillermo, I hope that we can hear you this time. And the last time you came into the chat, we couldn't hear you. So hopefully we can hear you this time. We'll see. We'll see how it is. I don't know. I don't hear you, so I don't think we can hear you this time, Grandma. I don't know what's going on with the stuff, bro. You got to get it. I don't know what's going on with it. But anyway, I'm sure you guys have seen tidbits and quotes. Let me say quotes of what the Boston Celtics insider Sherrod Blakely said about Kyrie Irving, the Boston Celtics, the New York Knicks. I'm sure you guys have seen it on Instagram, seen it on Twitter. The biggest thing that you've probably seen is that he said the New York Knicks, and I'm going to let you hear it, that the New York Knicks have made Kyrie Irving their first, second, third, and fourth option coming into the 2019 free agency. That's not anything new. We knew that. It's nothing new. That's pretty common knowledge. But there is something else. There's something else in there that I want to make sure that bothers me. So I'm going to play this for you. All right, I'm going to play it for you. I want you guys to listen to it. It's going to be about 30, 45 seconds. And I'm going to let you hear what this guy, Blakely said about Kyrie Irving and the New York Knicks. He was asked whether or not Kyrie is seriously considering the Knicks. Check this out.
Is this interest in New York legitimate, or is that a media creation?
I think there's some interest, but it's not nearly, just from the people I've spoken with, nearly as great as we in the media make it out to be. I can tell you right now, the New York Knicks, he is their number one target. I've spoken with people within that organization. They have made it absolutely crystal clear to me that if they had their pick of guys that are going to be in the free agent market this summer, Kyrie would be their first, second, third, and fourth choice if they had to make it. So he is a guy that they definitely want. I don't think the interest on his part is as significant, but the one thing that, when I spoke with people with the Knicks organization, they told me was that that's why this season is so important for them, because they can't just roll out there and win 25 games and expect Kyrie to come there. They have to be competitive. They have to make a push towards, one of those last playoff spots to have any shot at landing Kyrie Irving. And once they do, if they're able to get into the playoffs and they're able to make a trade and get a guy like Jimmy Butler, then all of a sudden New York becomes a much more attractive destination. But I think ultimately, if the Celtics have the kind of season that they're supposed to, it's going to be very difficult for Kyrie to walk away from that, particularly when you have a situation where you're the face of the franchise.
Okay. Now, maybe you're asking, well, Sim, we knew this information. What is it that bothers you? Well, I'm going to tell you what it is that bothers me. And it really does bother me. What bothers me is that Blakely said that he heard from people in the Knicks organization that the Knicks feel a 25-win season is not going to be enough for Kyrie Irving, and that they know that they need to contend for a playoff spot in order to get Kyrie Irving. And by the way, I just want to say that the little clip that you heard is courtesy of the Bulls Talk podcast, NBC Sports Chicago. That's the Bulls Sports podcast from NBC Sports Chicago. But that bothers me and concerns me, because that to me says that the Knicks, if this is true, and this could be just this guy, spouting off, saying whatever, who knows who he spoke with. He could have spoke to the guy that sold me the tickets for the opening night. Who knows? I don't know. But if the Knicks really are basing this season, their win total this season, on whether or not they're going to get Kyrie Irving, I think that's a problem. I really do. I think that's a problem. The Knicks need to base everything that they do this season on the development of their players Not we need to win as many games or contend for a playoff spot so we can get Kyrie Irving. Right? If the Knicks are really, truly basing this season on Kyrie Irving, that's a problem, and that sounds like the old Knicks to me. Do I believe him? I don't know. I don't know much about the guy. You know what I mean? But if that's real, and the guy's, he's supposed to be a Boston Celtics insider, and maybe he has some connections with the New York Knicks, people in the New York Knicks regime or whoever, whatever. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But if that is the case with the New York Knicks, that's a big problem. To me, you do not play your season based on any free agent and what that free agent may do. You may make roster moves, cap moves, but when you step out on the floor, you know what I'm saying? You step out on the floor, you play to win because you want the team to get better. That's why you play to win, because you want the team to get better. You play to win because you have players there that want to win. You don't play to win because, well, we got to do this so we can get Kyrie Irving. That's an issue. I hope that it's truly not the case. But if it is the case, I'd be highly, highly disappointed in Scott Perry and Steve Mills. Right? Highly disappointed. Which is the reason why I believe in Scott Perry. I like what Scott Perry is doing so far. So, I don't believe that this guy really knows what he's talking about. I don't. But I just want to put it out there strongly, if that's a word, strongly, or however you want to say it. I want to put it out there that the Knicks should not play for Kyrie Irving or any other free agent that's out there. Play for the players that we have and work to develop the players we have. And whatever happens from there is what you roll with, is what you rock with. You know what I'm saying? Just play the young guys, right? Because that's our future. And whatever happens, we accept it. And then, we go out and we do it. But let's not play with the mindset that if we do well, Kyrie Irving is coming to New York. Let's not do that at all. Because I could care less if we get 25 wins this season. I just want to see the young guys play and develop and learn. That's it. And develop a culture, right? Develop a system of play. Develop something that when people step in, they understand these are the values that I'm stepping into, and I better uphold it or I won't be here. That's the only thing I want to do. And if that leads us to the playoffs, fine. If it doesn't lead us to the playoffs, fine. You know what I'm saying? I see Chris Carby, you say in the chat, he says, I just hope Sim isn't saying this because of his false belief in Frank. It has nothing to do with Frank Ntilikina at all. Nothing to do with Frank Ntilikina. Right? And it doesn't mean that I do not want Kyrie Irving to play for the Knicks. It doesn't mean that either. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying do not go out and get Kyrie Irving if he's available. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying do not base what you do on the floor this season around the possibility of Kyrie Irving coming to the Knicks. Right? Do not play for Kyrie. It shouldn't be in the Knicks' mind that, we can't go out and get 20 and only get 25 wins. If we only get 25 wins, Kyrie Irving may not come. That shouldn't even cross the Knicks' mind. The only thing that should be on the Knicks' mind is trying to develop these players. And if they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. Kyrie Irving, you worry about Kyrie Irving at the end of the season. Summer of 2019. Until then, you focus. All your focus needs to be on these guys right here. Maybe you worry about them at the trade deadline if something comes up, right? If something happens, maybe you worry about it then. So this has nothing to do with Frank Ntilikina. It has nothing to do with whether or not I like Kyrie Irving or if I think Kyrie Irving can fit with the Knicks. It has nothing to do with that at all. It has everything to do with the Knicks' mindset as a team. You know what I mean? That's what it has to do with. The Knicks' mindset as a team. And Siobhan Robinson, thank you for the super chat. He said, how long do Knicks fans want to rebuild? I get you. I hear you. And listen, I agree with you, Siobhan. I believe that, yes, free agents are going to be, they're going to help us to advance. Right? Well, all I'm saying is what we do this year should not be based on whether or not a free agent is going to come to the Knicks. What we do this year only needs to be based on how we are developing our players. That's all that I'm saying. How are we developing our players? How are we holding our players accountable, our coaches accountable? How are we developing our culture? That's all that this season should be about. And if that brings Kyrie, beautiful. If it doesn't bring Kyrie, oh well. That's the way I feel about it, because I like what we have and I like the way that we're building. It doesn't mean that I don't want Kyrie to be here. It just means that I want the Knicks mindset to not be on Kyrie the whole season. I mean, listen, we already know this is going to be a huge topic all season long. Kyrie to the Knicks, Kyrie to the Knicks, Kyrie to the Knicks. It's going to be a huge topic all season long. Any reporter that wants to get their name on Twitter, out on social media, is going to say something about Kyrie Irving to the Knicks, some news that they got, some report that they have, some Knick person that they spoke to. They could have spoke to the ball boy. They could have spoke to the janitor. They could have spoke to the person at the Pizza Hut that's in there. And they're going to say that they got news from some sources within the Knicks organization. You know, it's going to be there all season long. All season long. It's going to be there. And I want the Knicks to focus on who we have. We can worry about that later. That's the whole reason why I've really been focusing on these last few episodes. I've been focusing on goals for the players that we have, talking about what we're going to do with the players that we have, and the chalk talk, talking about what we're going to do with the players that we have. I know that I've spoken about free agency, especially when we were in the middle of free agency, but I do believe that the focus right now needs to be on who we have, because we're coming in training camp. So hopefully it's not the case. I don't believe it's the case. I think that Scott Perry and Steve Mills and those boys, I think they got a better understanding than that. You know what I mean? I'm going to open up you guys in the chat. I want to see what you guys talking about. Let me see. Isaiah, I'm going to open you up first, man. What's up? I don't know. Maybe I have opened you up first, but what's up, bro? What's popping?
Not much, man. What's going on, Sam?
I'm chilling, man. Man.
I want to start off with shout out to you and the entertainer. Good show last night.
Thank you.
I didn't get that little notification, but I'm gonna check in.
Yeah, you might have to ring the little bell so you get a notification. You know what I mean? You gotta ring the notification bell to make sure you get the notification. And just in case you guys don't know, what Isaiah is referring to is the entertainer, myself and Jet Central.
Christopher, I love you, Christopher.
We went live last night on NBNY. We talked about the Jets, we talked about the Giants, and we talked about the Knicks, we talked about the Nets. Basically, we talked about week two. We talked about week 2, football week 2. So Isaiah, man, what's your take on this whole thing with?
First things first, and this man, like me and Ant was talking, and Vamo we was talking. He was like, this could have been the ball boy, could have been his mama who know the Knicks, could have been anybody, could have been the butler. But listen, man, I trust Scott Perry, and like I said, this is a whole different regime. And if Scott Perry didn't say it or Steve Mills didn't say it, I'm not gonna listen to a guy on a Boston writer. I'm not gonna listen to them. This is to me. This is what I've noticed this ever since LeBron did it last year when he was about to face the Knicks to cause up stir. When he said, we should have picked Dennis Smith Jr. These no-name writers just try to get clout to talk, and it's like if Scott Perry and Steve Mills didn't say it, I don't believe it. And it's just about You know, I was having a discussion today on Bleacher Report when the notification come out, and you know, it's just people are ridiculous. They keep believing this is the same old Knicks. This isn't the same old Knicks when it comes to media and everything like that. And and we're not playing for Kyrie Irving. If that was the case, why didn't nobody say this about the Lakers last year when they got LeBron? Why did nobody say they're playing for LeBron? They're setting up everything for LeBron. Why when it only comes to the Knicks?
Well, they kind of did. They kind of did say that they were setting up for LeBron because those trades and everything with Cleveland like really set them up to get LeBron.
It did some, but it didn't. I mean, I didn't hear a lot about it. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't negative. It was. I mean, they won 36 games. I mean, it's just. I don't even think. No, the Knicks. No, I don't believe. Maybe the Lakers did it last year. Maybe they did play for LeBron, but I doubt it. But again, you don't play for a player. You play for development because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's like saying the Nets are going to play hard all year long. Are they going to get a player? Are they playing for a player? No, you got to play for development, and then you got to attract. Because if you don't have the talent, you don't have the players that LeBron didn't go to that team saying, "Oh man, they just played for me." No, they're playing. He saw the potential. He saw Lonzo. He saw Brandon Ingram. He saw Kuzma. He was like, "These dudes are going to be nice in the next couple of years. I'm going to play with them while I get older." You don't. No, stop it. That's crap. I don't think it's good. No, they don't play. You don't play for players. They're playing for development.
Okay, let me see what Viv's talking about. I'm gonna put you on mute because I think you got some background stuff going on. Yeah, Viv, what's going on, man?
What's up, Sim? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Look, I don't really take this guy seriously. Someone said on Twitter, whatever he says, believe the complete opposite. So I'm going to believe that.
Okay.
And look, we're smart enough. We tried to play for LeBron 10 years ago.
Right.
When Donnie Walsh came through. You know, we're playing for LeBron. We're gonna build this. We're gonna trade everyone for the sole purpose of getting LeBron.
Right.
This team's not like that. You know, I think people got us really twisted because, you know, they just have this preconceived notion about, you know, what our ownership and front office really think and do. It's all smoke and mirrors. The Knicks they've stopped leaking stuff, like especially, you know, when moves are made. You know, we didn't necessarily have a preconceived idea that the move was about to come. So, you know, if people are talking about it right now, it really means nothing to me.
All right. And that's good. I mean, what I will say is that the guy wasn't bad mouthing the Knicks. You know, he didn't say anything, you know, to me, he didn't say anything bad. He was just saying, you know, what he supposedly got from his sources, you know, so to speak. Not so to speak, I guess, you know, from what he got, you know, from his sources within the Knicks organization. And, you know, who might that be? Who knows? You know, that, you know, like we said, that could be anyone. It could be anyone. Right. For those who are just joining us, I'm going to play it one more time. This is from the Bulls Talk podcast from NBC Sports Chicago. I'm going to play it one more time. Take a listen to this.
Of finding yourself in a similar situation in Cleveland where you're on a good team, but you're not in the position of leadership that you believe that you've earned a right to be in.
Is this interest in New York legitimate, or is that a media creation?
I think there's some interest, but it's not nearly, just from the people I've spoken with, nearly as great as we in the media make it out to be. I can tell you right now, the New York Knicks, he is their number one target. I've spoken with people within that organization. They have made it absolutely crystal clear to me that if they had their pick of guys that are going to be in the free agent market this summer, Kyrie would be their first, second, third, and fourth choice if they had to make it. So he is a guy that they definitely want. I I don't think the interest on his part is as significant. But the one thing that, when I spoke with people with the Knicks organization, they told me was that that's why this season is so important for them, because they can't just roll out there and win 25 games and expect Kyrie to come there. They have to be competitive. They have to make a push towards, one of those last playoff spots to have any shot at landing Kyrie Irving. And
So for those who were just wondering what we were talking about, that's what we were talking about. Tony Crow, I got you on the line. What's popping, man?
What's going on, Sam? Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time.
All right, it's a Tony Crow time. Time to mute him.
Yeah, what's going on with you, bro?
I can't really say agree because he's saying he got sources, but I understand everything that he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to just keep it a buck, that's what most of the chat has been saying. When it comes to Kyrie or Kevin Durant or whomever, the question is, why are they going to leave a winning situation to come to a uncertain situation? So, I mean, if you're just being logical, the better we do, the more likely we are to grab a top tier free agent.
Of course. My concern is
the playing for him.
Yeah, the mindset.
I mean,
if that really came from the Knicks organization, right? If that really came from the Knicks organization, that bothers me because that says that their mindset is not on the players we have. Their mindset is on somebody that may come or may not come, right? That's what bothers me. I understand. Listen, my thing is go out and try to win at all costs. But you try to win for yourself, not because, we want free agents to come here. I feel like you set things up for yourself and then everything else will come. You know what I mean?
I agree with you 100%. But that's Fizdale and that's the players. The Fizdale plays, the players got to play for Fizdale. Fizdale has to coach the players that's on the team. If we're talking Steve Mills and Perry, their job is to look and see what they could do to better the team, to look in the future, to look at who might not be there next year. You know what I mean? So if it came from the front office, I don't like that as being leaked. But if it came from the front office, it makes a whole lot more sense.
I get that that's their job, right? I understand that that's their job, but I also think it's their job to focus on the team that we have, especially the fact I can understand if you had a bunch of old players and it's time to you know what, we gotta break this up and we gotta really make some moves. But I think the fact that we have young guys that are going to be up and coming, I think our focus really needs to be on these guys. Of course, they got to do what they need to do in the background, right? But I think any team that you have, your focus should be on those players, the players that you have. I just don't think you focus your season on one player.
Well, I agree with you again, 100%. It's like the LeBron 2010 situation all over again. And that you don't do,
right?
And I don't necessarily think that's what he meant. But as far as I agree with you. If you're saying don't trade for Jimmy Butler, thinking he's gonna get you Kyrie, I agree with that. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Unless unless you spoke with Kyrie behind the scenes and that's what he wants. But
I still
you don't do that. You don't do that on your own with the hopes of getting somebody.
Even
so I agree with you in that aspect.
Yeah, even if I spoke to Kyrie and he said, get Jimmy Butler, I'm coming, I still don't just run out and go get him. That's just me, because anything, especially if it doesn't fit into what I want to do, and I'm not saying it does or doesn't, but if a player is like, go out and get this guy and I'm coming, and if it's a player that I'm like, no, I don't want this guy at all, I'm not going to change my philosophy for another player, a player that's not even on my team, and then a player that I can go out and get this guy, and then all of a sudden at the last second he changes his mind. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. But I mean, I'm saying that's the only way I would consider it. I'm not doing that trade, any trade, on my own with the hopes of getting somebody else. I'm also, but I mean, it's a funny situation though, because again, Scott Mills, or Steve Mills, Scott Perry, that is their job to look like their job is to improve the team.
Yeah, that's their job. That's
constantly
their job.
and consistently. You know what I mean? So
that's their job.
If they have their eye on a particular player, you know, you gotta trust their judgment.
Yeah, I mean that's their job.
Again, I'm more concerned with if it's true, that is leaked. But I don't believe it was leaked for the simple fact that he hasn't said anything that we haven't said on this chat, that ESPN hasn't said, that Fox Sports hasn't said. You know, everybody's saying, like, why would anybody come here just, you know, with the team as is?
Of course.
Not knowing.
And that that makes a lot of sense. But I just want the Knicks mindset not to be that LeBron mindset of 2010. You know what I mean? That LeBron mindset of 2010 almost, put us in the situation that we're in now. You know, because I feel like when you have the mindset and you cue in, you got all your eggs in one basket for one player, right? And you're doing everything in your power to get that player. You don't get them. And then we felt desperate. We felt desperate after we didn't get LeBron. And so we gave money to Amari that was, I'm not going to say his money was undeserved, but because of his, health issues, we couldn't get it insured and, set ourselves backwards. And as a matter of fact, you look at the players that we had in 2010, right? When we made that trade, we had Jamal Crawford. We had Zach Randolph. Who else did we have on that squad?
Everybody that we gave up for Melo.
we had something brewing there. We started the season off decent. I don't know if that team was going to be a winning team, but Zach Randolph went on to be an all-star. Jamal Crawford went on to be a six man of the year. Twice. We had some young, and Jamal Crawford was young at the time. Zach Randolph was, I'm not exactly sure how old, but he was young. We had a young squad, and we blew it, not super young, but we had a squad that you could start to build on, and we blew it all up for LeBron. And brought in Tracy McGrady so we could free up cap money. If that's what he was, I don't think that's necessarily what he was saying. If that's what he was saying, I would totally disagree with you, because there's no, don't ever do that again. We had a good contending squad, and when I say contending, I mean playoff contention, not championship contention. But we had something to build off of, and I definitely don't agree with gutting the team or by all costs doing whatever it takes to go after, Kyrie or trade for a guy he likes. I don't agree with that at all. As of right now, I think it's just words anyway. Season hasn't even started. You know what I mean? We don't know who we have and the players we have. Now, if he made these comments and it was like a month away from the trade deadline, then I would be more a little more like, concerned. Agreeing with you as of right now. Right now, I think it's just words. And if our team balls out, then I guarantee you we're gonna stick with what we got, because we do it well. You know what I mean? Right. So. Yeah, hopefully it's just words. I mean, coming from him, it's not coming from the Knicks. It's coming from this guy. So he got sources inside. But I just want the Knicks to be on the mindset of not putting their eggs in one basket and just queuing in on one guy, but really looking at taking this time to look at what we have. You know what I mean? Because doing things like that. This is what I'm getting at, right? If that's your mindset. Let's just say it was, and I'm not saying it is, but let's just say it was their mindset. Then they may be urged to say, well, let's keep Courtney Lee and play Courtney Lee. Let's keep Joakim Noah and play Joakim Noah. Right? Let's play these guys that can maybe get us to 35 wins because we want to impress Kyrie. That's where it concerns me. That you say, we want to try to impress Kyrie to bring him in, so we're going to play veterans that can maybe get us 35 wins to try to show Kyrie that he needs to come here. That's where it concerns me, if that's the mindset.
Well, let me ask you this, then. Are you of the mindset of strictly play our young players, rock with them, and develop them, and see if they are good enough to get us to the playoffs?
Yep, I'm of the mindset to play the young guys, put them on the floor. You're gonna make some vets in there because they gotta sometimes teach the young guys some of the ropes of the game. So some vets are gonna play, but I want the young guys to play as much as possible, and then wherever it falls, it falls. If it falls inside the playoffs, outside the playoffs, if we're close, if we're not close.
Let me ask you this, because I know me and you are both in agreement in not tanking, but some would argue that you're essentially rather tank by playing the young guy. Let me ask you, if our veterans are getting us the wins, do you want to rock with our veterans?
No.
Because we're winning?
See, I have a different idea of tanking than other people, I think, though. Because my idea of tanking is this. Let's say we're playing the young guys and they're winning. And then you decide, well,
take them out.
Frank Ntilikina is having a great game. We got to get him out because we don't want to win. That's my idea of tanking, right? What I'm saying is more development than tanking, because if they're winning, they're winning. You know what I'm saying? If you play the young guys and they're winning, you leave them in. You win. You try to go. You try to go for the playoffs. You try to win with them, right?
I agree with you. Right? But here's my thing.
I think that's development over tanking.
Let me just give you a scenario. Let's say we rocking with our young guys, right? Mm-hmm. One of our young guys, or a couple of our young guys, they get into foul trouble, and now we're playing. We got a lineup with Joakim Noah, Lance Thomas, Courtney Lee, and whomever else, maybe Knox and Ntilikina, right? Which is funny because those are our two main young guys with Porzingis gone. But let's say that's the scenario. And now we was down 15. We end up coming back. We win the game. Now Joakim Noah, Lance Thomas, Courtney Lee, they earn the right to whether it's start or play more minutes. Are you against that?
No, I'm not against it. As long as the young guys are getting. But see,
that's what I mean. Because I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes into the development of the young players.
I'm not saying play out young guys by all costs. Because if we're winning, I want to continue winning. Whomever is helping us win, that's who I want to play.
Right, but see, we seen last year Jeff Hornacek started playing. He played veterans over young guys because he was trying to win. Right,
that's
instead
different.
of developing,
he was trying to win. He was trying to win for his job.
Right,
he wasn't trying to win get us still in the playoffs because we was out of contention. Right. And in that aspect, I agree with you. Play the young guys. We're out of contention. There's no way we're gonna make the playoffs. Let's develop our young guys.
Right. But see, that's where I see the same thing could happen.
Doing the same thing, and we were in contention of even making the playoffs, I wouldn't have been mad at him.
But see, this is where I see the same thing can happen. The same exact thing. If your mindset is we got to get 35 wins to impress Kyrie, we're down the stretch of the season. We need to keep playing these vets. I can see that same thing. I just have a different idea of what tanking is. Tanking to me is you lose. You just straight up lose on purpose. You're not trying to develop. You're just trying to lose on purpose. There were teams last year that had young players that could help them win, and they sat them down because they didn't want to win. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you, but
totally different idea between tanking and development.
By playing your young players. You know what I mean? If your veterans are playing better than your young players and you're not playing your veterans, to me that's tanking.
I mean, you might still play your veterans, but your idea to me it is different to me. It's just different because you might be saying, I'm going to play these young guys. We're going to try to win every single game. When you're tanking, to me, when you're tanking, you're not even trying to win. Regardless if your veterans are helping you or if your young guys are helping you, you're not trying to win. And there's certain things that go into trying to win to me, like film study, preparing for games, actually coming up with a game plan, coming up with your adjustments. All those type of things going into winning. If you're tanking, to me, you're not even doing those things because you're like, For what? We don't want to win. See, to me, there's a big difference between development and tanking. Tanking is just we're losing at all costs. Development means we're going to put players out here that these players are our future. We're going to try to win with them because we want them to develop. So we're going to try to win with these guys. And then however things fall is the way that we'll take it. We'll take it the way that things fall. You know what I'm saying? To me, tanking is we're going to lose at all costs, no matter who's in the game. We don't want any players that are doing well in the game because we want to lose. See, that's my difference. That's the difference to me between tanking and development.
That is tanking, but I just believe if you're playing young guys over veterans for development purposes, and not necessarily because they're playing better and winning, I think that's tanking too. Look at what happened with Boston when they brought in Crowder and Thomas.
I mean, to me,
and Danny Ainge was like, "Listen, we're gonna lose."
Yeah, but
and then
I just don't
Isaiah
think that's
Thomas
tanking.
and Crowder was like, "Oh no, we're not here to lose," and they balled out.
Right,
But guess what? Boston kept them in they didn't bench them to develop the young guys. They was like, they balling out.
Different games are going to come up with different games are going to have different things are going to happen in different games. You know what I'm saying? Different things are going to happen in different games. I just think there's a big difference between trying to develop your young guys and tanking. I think that people have it all mixed up. When you're tanking to just straight up lose, you're just trying to lose. That's tanking. I believe you can develop your young guys, and you may think that you're not going to be able to win with them, but you're really trying to win. There's a difference between trying to win and trying to lose.
Yeah. I agree.
Regardless of who you have on the floor, I think there's a big difference between trying to win and trying to lose. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna let some people call in. The chat want to call in.
Yeah.
But your Blackest Time. Shout out to the chat. Keep doing your thing, Sim.
All right, bro. Peace.
What?
Yeah, folks. I believe there's a big difference between tanking, trying to win, and trying to lose. Regardless of who you have on the floor, there's a big difference between trying to win and trying to lose. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I think there's a big difference between it. You know, because, you know, you could play your young guys, and if your young guys are killing it, if you're tanking, you're going to take them out. That's just the way that I see it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I do want to rock with the young guys. I want the young guys to play because I want them to develop. And if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. I don't think that's tanking. I just think there's a big difference between trying to win and trying to lose. Ant, what's popping, man?
What's poppin', son? I got a few things to say.
All right.
One, like, do we think these players are stupid? Like, our front office and these players, like Kyrie Irving, they're not dumb. If we go out and win 36, 35 games because Joakim Noah, Lance Thomas, and Courtney Lee win us games, that's not attractive to Kyrie Irving. Two,
I'm with you on that.
I say actions speak louder than words, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this dude in Boston, whatever his name is, saying that we're going to try to have the best season possible and win as many games as possible to get Kyrie Irving, that doesn't make sense because our actions in the offseason is something totally different. Okay. If we've been to about Kyrie Irving's interest. If the front office's goal was to get to the playoffs and contend, our big offseason moves would not have been Noah Vonleh and Mario Hezonja. So their actions say that this dude has no idea what he's talking about.
Well, I mean, we didn't really have any money to get anybody else.
But I mean,
we didn't have no money.
We're not trying to win. Like, you can tell when the front office is pushing to win. Our front office is not pushing to win now. And Stephen A. Smith says a lot of crazy stuff, but when Stephen A. Smith says my sources tell me, I listen, because he has sources, right?
They may not be. See, that's one thing. Like you said, they're not pushing to win. They may not be trying to. They may not be saying we're going to bring in all these vets to try to get an eighth spot, but I don't think that it's like, you know, we're not going to try to, you know, you have a philosophy. We're going to try to get players that's 25 and under, the best players we can get that's 25 and under that fits inside of our philosophy, and if we can win with them, we'll win with them. I think it's more that than saying we're not trying to win.
I think they want to win, but I don't think they're like saying like this is the year we got to contend. You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
And I think it's more so about, I think he may be hearing something, but I think he's misinterpreting it. I think the Knicks are trying to make sure that after this season they're attractive, but that doesn't mean that we forfeit forfeit development for wins. What that means is what Stephen A. Smith said, his source said, which is that the Knicks want to show prospective free agents, one, that Kristaps Porzingis is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. And that we have up-and-coming youngsters that have a future, and that we don't have a bozo front office. I think that's more of making us look attractive. I said it's another show. Free agents aren't going to teams anymore based on their previous season's win-loss record. LeBron didn't go to the Lakers because of how many games they won the previous year. So the flexibility on their roster and the potential of the players on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
So us trying to win as many games as possible, that would show a complete lack of the understanding of the landscape of the NBA today. And I think Scott Perry and Steve Mills are much more smarter than that. And I call ball on this dude. I think he's hearing something. I just think he's a Boston Celtic insider, and their relationship with their team is different than Frank Isola's with the Knicks. They try to spin everything to Boston's favor. They want to make this organization look good, right? So, even that whole thing with Kyrie's interest is not really that high. That was something he threw in there. That's not true. That's not true.
I mean, it might be. You can't tell. We'll see. Let me get to this call. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, what's up, Sam, man? It's Melrose. What's going on?
What's popping? What's going on, man?
Same old, man. You still on the Kyrie talk, man? I've been on hold, so I'm missing the show, man. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, we still on it for a second, but I'm about to jump off of it. Yeah, but we still on it.
Okay. I just wanted to say, man, I agree with you, man. If we do what Homeboy said, with chasing Kyrie and playing to win and all that, that'll basically be the same thing they was attempting to do last year. And you're going to start playing players or giving players more minutes that we shouldn't be giving. Cantor, if we playing for Kyrie, Cantor might get more minutes. That decreases Mitchell's minutes. Lee actually might get more minutes because he's super consistent. That's going to take away from either Trey or Dotson or whoever else. So, and even with Scott Perry and them, I heard some of it with Tony saying that's their job to, look to fix the team outside. But it's part of their job, too, to fix the team and try to get better from within.
From within.
I mean, to see what you have. If you develop them right, and they were talking in the beginning of the summer that they got this new system and with the development and the state of the art, show us then.
Yeah.
Because you can improve the team from within. You don't always have to look outside to improve the team. So I do agree with you with that. Because if they just fighting for Kyrie, you're going to mess up some development in these kids that we trying to bring up. And you don't know what they can turn into.
Right. And that's my whole thing, man. I just want to, I don't want to worry about Kyrie this year. I want to worry about the team.
And that's one of our issues. We always, how many times that's going to bite us, man?
Right.
Like, I'm tired as a Knicks fan. Honestly, that's one thing I am tired of is these wishes for these other players, and it never happens, yo. Like, for one time, can we just concentrate on ours and whatever happened, happened? Because if you don't, say we do play for Kyrie and do almost make it to the playoffs, and then he decides to stay with Boston. Now you just took away the development again for another season, and now what we going to do next season? Now we going to start the development?
Now we're going to start the development, man.
Like,
yeah, I mean, I just want to play our guys. I just want to play our guys and let the chips fall where they may.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just play them, play our young guys, let the chips fall wherever they may, without worrying about is Kyrie gonna like what he sees. I mean, just do what we have to do. I feel like any organization, if you're trying to build it and do it right, you'll make yourself attractive anyway. Without having to worry about it.
That's what I'm saying. He can like what he sees. There's two ways you can go. You can go that way, which probably, like I said, Lee, Cantor, Thomas, all of them might get more minutes. But say if you do really focus on development and we don't make the playoffs, that's not to say that Kyrie doesn't see the development in what we just did and still come to the team.
Right. And
the wins, I don't think the wins are going to do it. Everybody's focused on the wins are going to do it. But if Knox balls his butt off and Trier come up and Mitchell is a beast, but we just happen to can't pull out games at the end of the game and we lose another. What we lost last year, like 30-something games from 5 and under? Like, say if that happens again, but the improvement actually happens with the players this time, but they just can't close out games.
Right.
Kyrie might see that, or other stars might see that and be like, you know what, they got something over there.
Right, and I could be the closer, and then KP comes back.
Yeah.
You know, boom, exactly.
Right.
And that goes back to what
I
Ant was
agree,
just
man.
saying. Yeah, I'm with you, man. With you, Melville. I appreciate the call. I know the lines are blowing up. People want to get in on this topic, and holler at me a little bit. So, looking at the chat, people are saying you can't have it both ways, whatever. It's good. So, yeah. All right, Melville, peace, man. Thank you for the call.
No doubt, man. Peace, brother.
Later.
No doubt.
Yeah, give me a call. I want to hear what you got to say. 516-405-2246. I'm going to take Isaiah, and then we're going to get in and break down these Seat Geek season goals. All right, Isaiah, what's popping with you, bro?
You know what's funny, Sim? I was arguing with some Boston fans today, right? I was arguing with some Boston fans, and they were saying like, they were saying like, why would the Knicks? I mean, why would Kyrie go to the trash Knicks, and why would he go from this, and that? And I told him, I was like, my man, don't get me wrong. I told him, I was like, yo, you got some nice players. But there's nobody on the team. The closest that's on the team to that maybe on the KP side would be Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that's a maybe. And don't get me wrong, he showed up in the playoffs, he can do it. I just want to see him keep doing it. My thing with him is like I was telling him like, yo, you got a 30-something-year-old Al Horford. You're still paying him a lot of money. You got a Gordon Hayward that you're paying a lot of money that we don't know. They got a good future, but their future, I was telling him, you're sleeping on our future and our potential.
Yeah.
Because let's just say Frank hits. Let's say Frank, plays his defense and becomes a good point guard. Let's say Kevin Knox becomes who we think he could be. Let's just say Kevin Knox. Let's say Mitchell Robinson can be a Clint Capella, Marcus Camby. And then you got KP. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to take that over what the Celtics got. I'm gonna take that because don't get me wrong. I love Jason Tatum. That boy, he got a chance to be. He got a chance to be like the second best small forward in the East. Giannis is gonna be number one, but he got the best chance of being second in the East as being small forward. They got really good players, but I think when you compare our potential to the Celtics, it's not far-fetched to see Kyrie coming to the Knicks. He didn't have them on his list last year. He wanted to be with the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? And I heard that his dad has been saying to some people that he's gonna come. I mean, we all know how that goes, but I'm just saying it's not far-fetched to see Kyrie coming to the Knicks and him wanting to come. It's not.
All right.
It's not far-fetched at all. With our potential and everything.
I'm just saying, and I'm about to get to these season goals, man. But I'm just saying, I want the Knicks to really focus on our young guys and not just worry about Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? I'm tired of hearing about Kyrie right now. I really am. Listen, I would love for Kyrie to be here. I'm not going to lie. I would love for Kyrie to be here. I would love for Kyrie to play for the Knicks. I think him and Frank Ntilikina in the backcourt could be nice. I like it. But I'm not, worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. I do like what we have. You know what I mean? And I want to see what we can do with what we have, in terms of development and bringing these guys along and trying to win with our young guys by teaching them the what's necessary to win. Helping them build those winning habits. You know what I mean? And yes, you do need vets to help teach the young guys winning habits. You do. You need vets that know how to win to help teach them how to win. Of course you do. But I want to see the young guys play. I think they need to be on the floor. If they're not going to be on the floor, if you're only going to give Frank Ntilikina 10 minutes a game, then how's he going to implement anything that he's learned? He's not. So yeah. I think you play the young guys, and I'm sorry, I just don't think that's tanking. I think there's a big difference between tanking and development. You know what I mean? But it's cool. Everybody got their own thing. I'm with it. So let's get on. We're gonna talk about this. We are gonna do the SeatGeek season goals. Use promo code NBK and get $20 off your first purchase when you buy tickets on SeatGeek. Not just to an NBA game, but any event, concert, play, anything. SeatGeek.com. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get to these season goals. I'm gonna start off with Trey Burke. Since we're talking about point guards, let's continue to talk about point guards. We're gonna talk about Trey Burke, another fiery topic. And what season goals, and what I'm gonna say may be conflicting for some of you, because who I would like to see starting for the New York Knicks. But we'll go ahead and get into these goals. My first goal for Trey Burke: improve his defense. Is it possible? Because I think that's one of the things that could keep Trey Burke off the floor. Now, when I say is it possible, I'm not saying because Trey Burke doesn't have the work ethic. I'm saying is it possible because Trey Burke has just some natural deficiencies with his height and size when it comes to defense. That's just my opinion, and I know I'm going to have some people trip out on me. Stephen Kennedy telling me right now to be careful. Yeah, I better be careful because I know we got some Trey Burke fans, and I'm a Trey Burke hater, man, as far as some of y'all say. But I'm just calling it like I see it. It's the only way I can do it. But if he can find a way to improve his defense, he's not going to grow anymore. So, but if he can find a way to improve his defense, that's going to help us. It's going to help him. You know what I mean? It's going to help him if he can find a way to do that. Another season goal that I'd like to see for Trey Burke is to continue his shooting efficiency. Right? Trey Burke last year shot like 50% from the field, but he did that. That's not the norm for Trey Burke. All right. His mid-range pull-up was money. I gotta give it to him. His mid-range pull-up was it was something lovely to watch because I'm I like that mid-range pull-up shot. I'm a big fan of that pull-up shot. You know what I mean? So watching Trey Burke knock down that pull-up shot, that pull-up was great for me. You know what I mean? Because that's a shot that I like. So he was money from that. I want to see him continue that efficiency. And he took good shots. He was also, he took a lot of shots at the basket because he has a lot of speed. He can get to the basket. So he took a lot of shots at the basket. And he was able to convert, something that our next guy that we're going to talk about has a problem with. And then, not to confuse anyone, but although I do want Frank Ntilikina to start, one of Trey Burke's goals should be to prove himself as an NBA starter. Right? It doesn't mean that I want him to start, but I think if you're talking about personal goals, he needs to prove to the NBA that he is a starter. If he's going to reclaim his career, he needs to prove to the NBA that he is a starter. How does he do that? In my opinion, I think that he needs to prove that he's more than just a guy that can light it up. I think he needs to prove, and maybe I should have had this in asterisks here or under proof he's an NBA starter. I think that he needs to prove that he can run a team as well as score his points. The one thing that I don't want to take away from Trey Burke is his ability to be aggressive on offense and score in bunches. I don't want to take that away because I think that is that's his strength. But I believe that his strength leads him to be a sixth man. And I think a lot of people around the NBA look at him the same exact way. Leads him to be a sixth man. because that's what he can do. He can come in and he can light it up. Right? There's no doubt about it. He scored 40 something last year in a game. I forgot what was Charlotte or whatever. But he also gave up a lot of points. But there's no doubt about it. Trey Burke can score. We know that. He can get his. I think the next level, if he wants to take it to the next level, he's got to prove that he can run an offense, that he can run an NBA team. You know what I mean? And I think that will propel him. That'll take him to the next level. That's what I think about Trey Burke and where Trey Burke needs to go. How Trey Burke can become a better player in this year. You know what I mean? And of course, a lot of that had to start in the offseason, working on his defense, continuing to work on his shot. And then work on those other things. It's hard to work on those other things as far as running an offense when you're not playing in organized games. Playing down Dykeman, you're not learning to run an NBA offense. So that's going to come during preseason. So we'll see. Can he do it? We'll see. Can he do it? I don't know. You know what I mean? Look, I want Frank Ntilikina to start. But I'm rooting for him nonetheless. I'm rooting for him to do well nonetheless. Okay? Let's talk about Mudiay. Sticking with the point guards, we're going to talk about Emmanuel Mudiay. Emmanuel Mudiay needs a lot of development. We know that. Emmanuel Mudiay needs to dedicate himself to developing. We know that too. But what does he need to do this year? To listen, Mudiay, in my opinion, is playing for his NBA career right now. He's been underwhelming, to say the least. To be, what was he, a seventh pick? To be a seventh pick. He's been underwhelming. This has to be the year that he proves that he can be a backup point guard in the NBA. I don't know if he's going to be a starter. Maybe he will develop to be an NBA starter one day. You know what I mean? But this is the year I think that he needs to prove that he belongs in the league. First, conditioning. He's got to come into camp in shape. Then he's got to stay in shape. When Mudiay came to the Knicks last year, it was clearly obvious that he was not in shape. Not in shape. And I see people in the chat saying he needs to stay on his feet. That's part of it. When I say, when we're talking about his conditioning and staying in shape, that's part of it. He needs to work on his balance. Hopefully he did some things over the offseason to work on his balance. You know what I mean? But he's got to be in shape. And if he's not getting the burn, he's got to do what's necessary to stay in shape. You're a professional in the NBA. Do what you need to do to stay in shape, even if you're not playing. That's part of being a professional. That's part of it. Emmanuel Mudiay is part of it. Got to stay in shape. Next, improve his defense. Right? He was a decent defender. I'm not going to say he was horrible, but I'd like him to improve his defense, especially because, at 6'5", he's going to be needed to play defense on the 1 and the 2. Right? So we need him. We need his defense. All of our point guards. We got to have guys that can guard somebody out there on the floor. Because the point guard is the point of attack. I say it over and over and over again. That's the point of attack. And if you can cut them off at the point of attack, now they're forced to move on to something else. You know what I mean? So he's got to improve his defense. Trey Burke too, improve his defense. Ntilikina, he plays well defensively, but in my opinion, every player in the NBA needs to consistently be improving their defense. Whether that be physically or mentally. Right? Prove his defense. Next, he's got to finish at the basket and hit the outside shot. Finish. He has the ability to get there, and we've seen it. And we've seen a couple of games where Mudiay got hot. But see, when Mudiay shoots, if you guys, I know some of you guys paid attention. We need Mudiay to go straight up and down, right? Mudiay, he comes up, his arm is tucked. I'll give him that. He's straight up and down at first, and then all of a sudden his legs cross before he lands. I don't know what it is and why he does that. You know what I mean? But it's not good mechanics. Now, if he was making every shot, I wouldn't care. If he was shooting 50% from his mid-range, I wouldn't care. You know, he was shooting 40% from three, I wouldn't care. But, you know, those little things, those little mechanics mean a lot when you're not making this shot. You know, if you have someone like Sean Marion who's got a crazy shot, but he's knocking it down, you don't touch it, in my opinion. You don't touch it. You leave it how it is. He's knocking it down, you let it go. Right? You look at it, you might say, damn, that's an ugly jump shot, but he's knocking it down, so I don't care. Right? Moutier's jump shot, is it broken? I don't know if it's broken. He doesn't have much touch on the shot. You know, it's like a brick when he's throwing it up there. So there's not a lot of touch on it. Yeah, so hopefully he's worked on that jump shot. Maybe someone, you know, they've helped him to fix his mechanics a little bit, and he can improve that jump shot. I think that, you know, if he's going to be an NBA player, he's, you know, that jump shot for every player, any guard in the NBA, I think is key. You don't have to be, you know, a super duper knockdown guy, but I think that you need to have somewhat of a jump shot so you can be a threat. You know, that's what I want to see from Moutier. That's what I want to see from Moutier. Then and I'll add in there running the offense as well. You know, I'll add that in there for Moutier. But you know, those are some things that I want to see from Moutier. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping, man?
Hey, what's up, Sims? This is Rob the Knick.
What's going on, bro? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good.
All right, that's good to know. Look, this is what I think. Trey Burke, as far as I'm concerned, he needs everything that you said. You're right. But to me, I'm a Frank fan, but I don't think that Frank needs to start over Trey Burke right now.
Okay, fair enough.
I think that it will push him more to back him up right now, but it doesn't need to be the old guard to back up that he needs to see. Frank Ntilikina needs to see another young guard that put in all the work, and he deserves to start over. I'm just looking at it for right now. Okay. I know defense is different for him, you know, but I'm saying Muggsy Bogues played point guard in the league for years at his height. So I'm thinking that Trey Burke gave everything that Hornacek asked him to do, he did. And he knew it, and he probably did tell him, well, don't worry about defense too much. We got Frank. But I think if he has to kneel down on it and get it done, he'll get it done. And I think that that'll help Frank out in the long run.
Okay. Listen, I'm rooting for Trey Burke. I am.
Yeah. And then as far as Moutier is concerned, everything you said about Moutier is right. And he needs to also watch Trey Burke and what Trey Burke did. All them guards that's on the team needs to watch Trey Burke. Because Trey Burke put in the work. He's 25 years old. And if they can take that work ethic that he put in at the end of the year, I think the confidence in Frank will come up as though he could take the position. I don't want nobody to give Frank anything because I think he comes from France, is a different style, and he's used to getting his way. I want him to earn every minute that he gets. So with that being said, you know, everything, like I said, everything that you said, as far as nothing more that you can say about what you said about those players, because you said everything that they really do need, and that's what they need. So I'm going to keep this short today, but I just wanted to put, because I did wait for this, that Kyrie thing. If you look at the way that the Knicks are built right now, you can tell what the guy said in Boston. I listened to him 3 times. And what he was saying was that the Knicks will do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's they only plan that they have. Everything else, he gave an opinion.
Okay.
You know that what he thought. But he mixed it in to have everybody thinking that was from his source. What was from his source was the 1, 2, 3, and 4 that the Knicks is going all out for Kyrie. But from the way that I see the Kyrie buzz, Kyrie already had mentioned before on Summer League that he would like to play with KP.
KP, yeah.
So that's
KP.
Yeah, that was already established. So
KP,
therefore, when I feel as though when Knox showed that what he can do, the buzz got even stronger. that now that he wants to come to the Knicks, because he always said that he wanted to come, even from Cleveland. He wanted to come. That was one of the teams, and look what the team was then. So I think that's a done deal that he's going to give the Knicks a shot.
Okay.
You know, I don't think it has anything to do with the wins. I think that guy that was talking to Chicago radio was trying to put the buzz out there during the season to get us to make a dumb trade with Boston to try to get him anyway.
Maybe
so, you know, I'm not going for that. I think
it.
Scott Perry and them is smarter.
Okay. Maybe Danny Ainge put him up to it, man.
Listening to anything that guy was saying. Yeah. Besides, his source said, we going all out for Kyrie. Okay, maybe your source did say that. But everything else, if you listen to him again closely, it was an opinion that he snuck in there. So, like, yeah, but then, you know, they need to do this, blase this here and that there and the third. But, you know, I think everything that we're thinking as all the fans in the chat and everything is on the same page. We don't need to jump out the window for that. And if we don't get them and these guys develop, 35 wins to me is something that we can achieve. Because if you look at our veterans, if you left them veterans on the floor anyway, Joakim Noah, Lance Thomas, and Courtney Lee, they not worth the 35 wins anyway without everybody else coming together.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if they wanted the 35 wins, I felt as though if that was a plan, they would have kept Beasley. But they let the scoring go. It's going to be Knox, Nikina, Trey Burke, and them. Now, if they win 35 games that way, which I think that they can probably do anyway.
I mean, they win 35 games with playing them guys, I'd be happy. Yeah, maybe. Maybe 30, 35 games. They say the up and under is 30 anyway. What's 5 more games that this guy's? We really in the uproar for 4 more victories? That's going to determine if Kyrie comes? I don't think so. But I think he's fine with Pungus, with KP, Kevin Knox, Ntilikina, Trey Burke for the time being, and see what else develops. All right.
You know, that's what it is. Because Joakim Noah, we know what we have there. There's no points there. We're not going to hold teams to 80 points in this NBA.
Right.
With Joakim Noah or anybody else. So, we don't need to worry about that. I'm glad that you really did move on from it because there's not really nothing there.
Okay.
You know, all right. So, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the show. I'm off tomorrow, so I'll listen all the way to the end.
Definitely.
One more thing I was wanting to say.
Yeah.
And this was because I was calling in at the last show. If Hardaway, I looked at him, he shot 45% before in Atlanta. If he can up it up to about 23 at 45% and get off about get 4 assists a game and 5 rebounds, the Knicks will win them 35 games.
Okay.
He's the key to the 35 games more than anybody else.
I do believe, you know, I think I agree with you there. You know, Hardaway is definitely a big key. I'm going to let you go, man. Appreciate the call.
All right.
Peace, man. Have a good one. Enjoy your day off tomorrow.
Glad it's time.
All right. Peace.
All right.
I do agree, though, that, you know, Hardaway is definitely going to be a big key. I'm going to check out, see what's going on in the chat. Who's Marcus in the chat? I know he's ready to say something about Trey Burke. He don't even want us talking about Trey Burke. Even though the kid is on the team, he don't even want us talking about Trey Burke. But for the record, though, I do support Trey Burke. You know what I'm saying? I want to see, for my reasons, I want to see Frank Ntilikina start over Trey Burke. I'm not going to be mad if Trey Burke is starting. I'm going to root for him, and he does well. I'm going to be happy that he's doing well. You know what I mean? I think I respect his grind. I respect everything that he's done to try to reclaim his career. And I want to see him reclaim his career. You know what I mean? I just like some things, about Frank on the defensive side of the floor. You know what I mean? But I'm not mad at Trey Burke. You know what I mean? Not mad at Trey Burke at all. All right? So, you know, let's see what my man Mark, what's popping, bro? What's up?
Yeah, what's popping, Sam? What's going on,
man? So where you at, man? I know you got some things. I know you got some things brewing in that brain up there.
Listen, man. I see people coming down on you, you know, talking banking and stuff like that, bro.
Yeah, you know, that's cool.
Can I ask people?
Bulletproof.
What do you need Thomas on this for?
Say that again. You breaking up, man. You gotta talk. I need you talking to the.
You don't hear?
I need you to talking to the mic, man, because you breaking up.
Hold on. You hear me now?
Yeah, it's better. You're still kind of breaking up a little bit.
Nah, my headphones is good. All right, I'm good.
There you go. Much better.
What do you see from Lance Thomas why he should be playing? Period. What is he for us?
Who?
Lance Thomas.
What is Lance? I mean, we on Trey Burke though. We on Trey Burke and Moutier, man.
Listen, Trey Burke, but this season for us is a tryout.
All right, we're gonna have to. This what I'm gonna have to do. Sorry, Mark. I had to pull Mark up out of there because it's breaking up. Maybe he can restart himself. Viv is gone. Isaiah's gone. So Chris, and I got you up, bro.
Yeah, Trey Burke. Goals for him are pretty lofty.
Lofty, okay.
Yeah, I think they're a little lofty. For a guy like Trey Burke, for him, he's not a great defender, but I never held that against him because of his size. I think he tries, So a goal for me for him would be to shoot at least 45% from the field, because I'm looking at his track history, his track record in last year, and I think we can expect something in the middle. He's not going to shoot 50%. That's kind of absurd for a guard his size anyway. I think 45% is a good goal for him. I think him making the right pass at the right time, like you said, being able to run an offense, I think that's a good goal. If he gets starting minutes, I would like to see him average at least 5 assists. If he gets starters minutes.
What did he average last year?
I'm not even sure.
I think he was about 5 assists last year.
He's about 5?
Yeah, I think
I was about 4.2. Okay. Yeah. So I would like to see him keep that up. And I would like to see him, his outside jump shot, I would like to see a little improvement. Because his 3-point shot wasn't all that impressive last year. Mm-hmm. And I think a guy his size needs to be able to consistently knock down that open jump shot. So I would like to see that. And, Trey Burke, if he can show that he can, be explosive and that last year wasn't a fluke, I think even after this season, he can have some value to us as a 6 man, as a scoring guard. But I want to see that last year wasn't a fluke, because if we compare the last 25, 30 games of last year compared to his career,
and that's what I'm gonna do right now. If you look at Trey Burke for his career, he's a 40% field goal. He shoots 40% from the field for his career. Last year he shot 50% from the field, 36% from 3. He averaged 4.7 assists last year. That's 36 games.
Okay.
Can he keep that clip up? He averaged 12.8 points, 4.7 assists, 4.7 assists and 2 rebounds a game. Can he score that clip? I don't know.
And the important thing to remember is that last year, Trey Burke, when teams saw him come on the court, they weren't game planning for him.
Right, exactly.
This year, teams are going to be like, okay, Trey Burke's going to be on the board in the locker room saying, you got to stop him. So will he still be able to get off, with defenses keying in on him? Because he is kind of our backcourt. He's probably our only point guard that can consistently get into the paint and create. Right? So teams are going to make sure to try to stop him from doing that. So can he still do that with teams focusing on him? I'm not confident.
Yeah. Okay. And he, for his career, looking at just the history of his field goal percentage, in his rookie year is 38%, 14, 15, second year is 36, let's say it's 37%. His third year, he went up to 41%. This is where I really start to judge, though, young guys, right? The first 3 years, you're learning, you're trying to get used to the NBA. You might have a low percentage. 16, 17, his fourth year in the league, he shot 45%. 17, 18 last year, he shot 50% from the field. So, let's see if this is, what he is, who he is. Let's see.
I hope so.
Yeah, let's see. Let me take this call real quick, and I'm going to keep you on, though, all right?
Bet.
Call you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hey, what's up, Tim?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, so what's the topic?
Right now, we just went over some goals. We went over some goals for Trey Burke and Emmanuel Moutier. Just talked about some goals for them for the season. And with Trey Burke, one of the goals that I had was, that he needs to, continue to shoot efficiently from the field, improve his defense, and then prove that he's an NBA starter. You know what I mean? And part of that is learning how to run an offense. I don't want to take his scoring away, but, running an offense. And I want to give a big shout out to Ruben Santiago with the super chat. I appreciate it. He said, peace to the chat. He told you guys like the chat, get subscribed. Big shout out to Ruben, man. He's out on set. If you guys don't know, Ruben is an actor. He's on set right now, shooting a feature film. So big shout out to Ruben, man. And I can't wait till he comes back and joins the chat. But that's what we on, bro.
Yeah. I agree with you totally. He needs to improve all those things. But I really like his scoring. I wouldn't take anything away from his scoring. I was listening and they were talking about 35 wins. That's preposterous. That's way out. The Knicks aren't winning 35 games. There's no way possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only way the Knicks are going to even touch 30 wins is if Porzingis comes back and blows the whole league away, comes back in all-star form.
You said that's the only way we're going to touch 30 wins? I don't know. I mean, Vegas has us over and under at 29.5. I think we can get 30 wins with who we got.
The beginning of the season is I don't know why they did that to the Knicks, but the beginning of the season we're playing away from home for more than half of our games. I just don't. I mean, that's why I put it. The only caveat I would have is if Porzingis comes back halfway through the season and we have most of our games second half at home, we can put on a good home stretch and maybe get to 30. But I unless Cantor and Trey Burke and Knox are really those dudes, I just don't see how we don't get demolished the first half of the season. If we win 10 games by the All-Star break, I mean,
yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't even know if we're going to win 10 games in the first 20.
All right, we'll see.
I mean, just looking at the schedule, I can't see it.
Hey, Ant has a question for you. Go ahead, Ant.
How do you explain that Lakers roster last year winning 36 games?
It's a good question.
I explained that by you had Brandon Ingram.
Okay, that's not
who was 3 years in. Brandon Ingram 3 years in. You had Julius Randle in a contract year. You had Kuzma, who was out of his mind. Kuzma is if we get a guy who plays, if Knox plays like Kuzma, maybe.
But that's not that far.
That's asking a lot. That's asking a lot. I mean, and Ball, he's a good distributor, so he was setting those guys up. You had Contavious Caldwell Pope. He's no slouch. He's a good middling 15-point a game guy. I mean, and you had what was it?
But if I can stop you right there, I know a lot of the guys you're naming, they're not. A lot of the guys you're naming, they're not, crazy talented guys. I mean, Contavious Caldwell Pope, Tim Hardaway Jr., are they that far apart? Do we think Frank Ntilikina can have a impact similar to what Lonzo Ball had last season? That's not that far-fetched. Brandon Ingram wasn't that impressive.
I don't know about that. I mean, they just
it's not that far-fetched.
I don't think, and Frank didn't even average close to that.
And then if Porzingis comes back, Porzingis is better than anybody that was on the Lakers last year, by far.
Yeah, and Porzingis was out. I mean, the Lakers really came on at the end of the year when Randall kicked it into high gear. Like I said, if Porzingis comes in and he's back at his all-star form and it's like, he doesn't miss a beat, yeah, we might scratch 30. But other than that, I just don't see how, without Porzingis, without maximum effort from Cantor, Trey Burke, and Hazonia or Knox or somebody really just blowing or Tim Hardaway, one of those guys has to play at an all-star level. I mean, shock the league type all-star level for us to try to scratch those wins.
To get
That's
the 30
the only
wins.
way I see it.
Okay.
I think we just disagree on how good those players on the Lakers were. I don't think they were that special. But
yeah. All right, hey man, I'm gonna let you
they were
go.
special enough to win 35 games.
That's not that special though. That's not a lot of wins. We overrating how much 35 wins is. That's not great.
Well, I mean, they were in the West.
Like some terrible Knicks teams won 32.
They got 35 in the West. 35 in the West is like 45 in the East. That's right now because they had to play Golden State. They played Golden State hard. The Knicks got trounced by Golden State. They got to play Houston. They played Houston hard. I mean, didn't Ball go out and have like 25? Okay. Didn't he have a triple-double against Houston? I don't see anybody on the Knicks getting a triple-double on Houston or Golden State. I mean, those guys, they don't look special, but those guys are all, I mean, look at what the Knicks couldn't have traded any player we had on the without Porzingis. You couldn't name 3 players we could trade for Kawhi Leonard. The Lakers had a package ready.
Okay. Hey, good points, man. I'm gonna let you rock. Okay, I know some other people want to call in, but good points. Make some good points.
All right, no doubt.
All right, man.
Yeah, well, what's up to the chat, everybody? And I can't wait for the draft next week.
All right, man. Definitely, man. Thank you for the call, and have a good one. Have a good one.
No doubt.
Weekend's coming up. Have a good start to your weekend, bro. Peace. All right, let me see. I haven't spoke to Viv in a minute. Viv, what's popping, man? What's up?
What's going on, Sim? What should we talk about?
Right now, we still kind of on. We were just talking about Trey Burke and some of his goals and those type of things, and then of course we got into winning 35 games. I'm about to talk about Cantor and what I see what he needs to do for the season.
All right, so you want me to mention Burke and then go to Cantor?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. All right, so this is my goals for Burke. One is I want him to ease away from those long twos and start shooting more threes, particularly corner threes. Second thing is I want to see him become a little more versatile on offense and try to score off the ball rather than just having to try to score with the ball in his hands. I want to see a little more movement on his end. And the third one is just staying as tough as he can on defense, because he's going to have a hard time against a lot of point guards. But as long as he tries hard and as long as he, just shows that grit and that heart, there are going to be times where, you think he has no chance, defending the man on a pick and roll or something, but he would have at least tried to make the shot more contested in that sense. So try hard on defense, and then try to expand his game a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so, what do you take on Cantor?
So Cantor, same thing with Burke. Try hard on defense as best you can. His footwork is just never gonna allow him to become that great of a defender, and he doesn't have the hops or the hops for athleticism. He doesn't have either one of those to really make up for the lack of the footwork in that sense. So just try as hard and be as dogged as he can. Second, don't get too crazy with the jump shots and the threes. I know Fizdale wanted him to shoot threes, but I don't want him to take a lot of volume threes. That don't go away too much from your bread and butter.
Right.
And the third one is, just be him in a sense. Honestly, there are times where the trolling Cantor is kind of funny. Just have some, as long as he keeps the locker room kind of lighthearted, just be himself, and that's my 3 main goals. I don't really. There's not much to add to Cantor. He's an expiring contract, and there's only so much you can really do from an offensive and defensive standpoint. So, if he could bring some of those intangibles, hey, do it.
All right, and look, we have some similar things, so I'm gonna bring it over. Talking about Cantor, we're talking about Enes Kanter and some goals for Enes Kanter this year. And look, I still got you on, Viv. So
I got you.
But like you said, Cantor may not even be here next year, right? But I'm not gonna rule it out. Cantor is a different kind of a dude, right? And I'm not gonna say that he wouldn't accept a smaller contract to the Knicks. I don't know, but if we're gonna make some moves in free agency, then you need Cantor's. You need that $18 million. All right. So let's get into my SeatGeek season goals for Cantor. And like I said before, go to SeatGeek.com. Use the promo code NBK for any event, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. But anyway, 3 season goals for Enes Kanter. 1 is improve his defense, like you just said, Viv. But I agree with you. And I have in parentheses lateral movement and IQ. The lateral movement is what is going to prohibit Enes Kanter from improving his defense. He just doesn't have the natural foot speed. It's not his fault. Right? This is what he was born with. He just doesn't have the natural foot speed. And then the IQ. Now, the IQ, I think he can do something about. And I think one of the ways that I think that he can improve his defense without, increasing his foot speed. Of course, he's trying over the summer. You've seen him trying to increase his foot speed as much as possible. But if his IQ is a little higher, and he understands how to take different types of angles and how to give a little bit of space if he needs to, and some of those type of things, understand spacing, then maybe he can improve his defense enough to stay on the floor when we really need him. Because I know coming down the stretch of games last year, and when he had to come out the game, it hurt us on the rebounding end and his ability to post up. You know what I mean? That hurt us.
I want to, before we go to the next point, those are 2 spot on points, especially the IQ. And I think you might agree with this too. I think, he should have a little bit more better decision making in a sense from, when he sees a screen about to be set, just understand how to position himself, and also, understand how to keep his, knees bent so that he can kind of, he's not really in like a flat footed or like a, flat leg position in a sense. So he can kind of get that little, boost in a sense. Unlike, there's a lot of times he didn't really bend his knees, so that kind of really became a problem, trying to go around screens and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you. My next thing, expand his offense to the 3-point line. And I know who's Mark is probably shaking his head and closing his eyes at this right now. But listen, and I'm just speaking from the mindset of him as a player. If he's going to, we know what he can do in the post. He can be a bruiser in the post. And do I want to see him chucking up 4 or 5 threes a game? Of course not. But I think if he's going to remain relevant in the NBA, that's going to be a part of his game that he's going to have to develop. You have to. He's going to have to develop it if he's going to stay relevant in this league. Mark, I see Mark putting his head back, got his hand on his head. He's stressed out. He's about to take a Tylenol because I'm making his head hurt or whatever. You know what I mean? But
no, he has to.
Speaking from a player's perspective, it's something that he's going to have to add to his game, because the game is moving in that direction. The same way that David Fisdale asked Marc Gasol to try to expand his game out to the 3-point line. It doesn't mean, and I think people get the wrong idea when we say that a player needs to expand their game to the 3-point line. It doesn't mean that we're going to run this guy off of screens and he's going to shoot the 3, or we're going to spot him out at the 3-point line and look for him to shoot the 3. It doesn't mean that at all. I think what it means to me is that you're not afraid to take 1 or 2 3-pointers to pull your guy out the paint. And if you can knock one down, you know what I'm saying? You can knock one down, then now your guy has to respect it, right? So now you can pull, it's going to be a big guy guarding Kanter. Now you can pull that big guy out the paint a little bit because he's a little bit afraid that Kanter might knock it down. So now you got penetrating lanes. You know what I mean? Because that's what the game is. You know what I mean? That's what the game is. So I just think, it doesn't mean he's got to be shooting mad threes. Just
no, he doesn't.
Expand your game to the 3-point line. If you can knock down a 3 or 2, cool. I just don't see what's wrong with that. Why everybody's like, we don't want Kanter shooting 3. Like, what's gonna happen if Kanter shoots a 3 and misses it? What is really gonna happen if he shoots 1 3 a game and misses it? Can somebody explain to me how that is going to hurt us? If every once in a while he pulls a three, I see Knicks Fan TV say that's pulling him from his strength. I disagree. Right?
Actually, it's probably strength is it probably the more versatile is actually stronger for him.
Yeah, I disagree because just because you pull 1 3-point shot, or maybe you set him up for, you have one play a game. We say, okay, we're going to try to get Cantor a three. He does it for that play. Right? Now, teams, if you run a play where you spread the floor out, you do a 5-out scenario and you spread the floor out, that person is like, okay, let me respect Cantor out there. The shot goes up, he gets back down in the rebound position. I mean, that's the way the game is played. Undoubtedly, he's going to set high screens, right? There is no doubt about it. He's going to set screens. He's going to set high screens, right? If he's going to set high screens, wouldn't you like for him to have the ability to sometimes pick and pop, right? Where he can, if him and Mitchell Robinson is in the game at the same time, he can pop out to the 3-point line. Maybe he doesn't get that shot, but his defender respects him, and now you can get a backdoor
sag off
to Mitchell Robinson, right? Because you don't have a big man in the paint. There's things that you guys got to think about, man. Things that you got to think about pulling that big man out so that you're four, or if you got a guy like Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, that's running backdoor cuts. And I mean, I don't think that it means that you're changing his entire game to turn him into a 3-point shooter. I just think that it's a dimension of his game that now has to be respected. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I would if I was Fizdale, I would have Cantor, start him in the corners. Corners are the easiest shots.
Yeah, of course. That's the closest.
Try to repeat the motion so that it's a quick motion. Yeah. And just keep on practicing that shot. Make sure the motion is quick. And go from there. And the third one is obviously the pick and pop. Have him in the, in pick and pop situations.
Yeah, and so
just keep on repeating the same play over and over.
Yeah, and who's Mark says Cantor doesn't have the skill that Marc Gasol had. He doesn't have to dribble the ball. I don't think you need to have this. I don't think you need to dribble the ball to shoot the three. If you're in a wide open situation, I don't know. I just don't. I don't see where it's a bad idea. You know what I mean? I don't think where it's a bad idea to. Can he make one or two? Make the defense respect him a little bit. All right. My last thing, I think he needs to be the spiritual leader on the team. We know we've seen him with it, right? He's obviously done it before, but I think he needs to be the spiritual leader on the team. He needs to be the guy. I think he needs to be the guy that's bringing the. I see someone in the chat say that he's a bruiser on both ends of the floor. You know what I mean? And he is. He's a bruiser. He can rebound. He's going to throw his body around. He's not afraid. But I want to see him just be that spiritual leader inside the locker room and out. Because from what I've read and what I've seen, from what I've read, in the locker room, he's not that much of a spiritual leader in the locker room. And I don't know. And like you said, Viv, I don't want anyone really stepping too far outside of what they are. Sometimes you step outside of yourself and you become better, right? But, I want him to do what he can do and maybe take steps towards, some things. But he's the spiritual leader, I think. We don't know what we're going to have from Joakim Noah. I think he's the spiritual leader out there. You know what I mean? So I think that's what we need from Cantor, to be that spiritual guy, that guy that gets us pumped up, riled up. He can do it. He doesn't have to be the tough guy. So I want to talk. We got another guy in the chat, new guy in the chat. Maybe he's new. My man, what's your name?
Rob the Nick.
Oh, okay. What's up, man? How you doing?
Glad I ain't nothing. I thought I'd slide in on the fellas and check it out.
That's what's up. I'm off tomorrow. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad you joined us, man.
Yeah, man.
Some people
he just need to. If he been practicing the three, he need to shoot the three. This is not the '80s, where the big men just stay and roam around in the paint. He gotta get in where he fit in. If he practicing, he played hard enough for us in the past for us to trust him to take the shot.
Yeah,
I'm with it all the way.
Yeah,
shoot the shot.
Some people like right now. Let me see who it is. I can't see who it is right now, but they said Sim. That's why he needs to, okay. D Grant said that's why Sim he should be under the basket so that he can get those baskets, right? And I agree. And it doesn't mean that Cantor's going to shoot 10 shots a game. He's not going to be Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. It's just saying expand your game a little bit so that every once in a while,
some people like right now.
So that every once in a while you can spread the floor out and give your man another something else to worry about. Man, I really don't believe that it doesn't mean that we're turning him and we're going to be looking for him to shoot threes all the time. It just means that this is a part of your game that now teams have to respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because rebounding just not his responsibility.
Exactly.
It's the team's responsibility. Why they just got to put him there?
Yeah.
You're going to have length all over the floor. You want everybody to play defense. Everybody 6'7" and above. Everybody should rebound.
Yeah.
The same thing with being a point guard. It's like, there's not one guy getting assists all the time. You should have everybody else trying to handle the ball. Same logic.
Yeah, like Knicks fan just said, keep the defense honest. Yeah, you keep that big man honest, and he's gonna think about sagging in too deep because he knows you just might knock it down. You know what I mean? Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's going on, Sam?
What's going on with you, man? Who's this?
Man, Rube right here, bro. I don't know if you recognize the number.
Oh, what's up, Rube? Nah, it did come up with a number. It came up with a name that I didn't recognize. What's up, Rube? What's going on with you, man? How things going on set, bro?
Man, yeah, man. I'm on set now, actually. I only got a second, but, oh, man. I just been kind of tuning into the chat for the past hour or so, man. I love everything that's happening. I got to go in and talk about what's been going on, what you've been talking about, if you don't mind. First off, like the chat, get subscribed. But just to let the chat know, Civic, my boy Isaiah was good. You know what I'm saying? I miss everybody. With my boy, man. I just ain't heard from everybody. Let's go. So peace to everybody. Peace out to the normal chat people, Breezy, everybody like that. CP the artist and entertainer always on. I agree with a lot of what the people were saying in the chat, but Vivek, bro, I think that you was way off all day. You got to get it together. I understand where you're coming from, but getting his knees bent, you mean defensive posture or offensive posture, of course, but that's not his thing. He's not going to get better at that, Vivek. Don't worry about that with Cantor. I don't know who's Mark been talking about out there. Every time you bring up a subject, you start talking about something else. Come on, bro. Stick on the topic. And you be off base anyway. Isaiah was good. But Aunt G, I really got to tell you, when you was talking with the caller, I had to agree with you on that. And I was trying to be critical of you. But honestly, I agree with you on that one, bro. You were definitely on spot. Not that the caller was that off base, but yeah, and you know what I mean? He was right. And way to call out that Lakers thing, that was absolutely a good point. But that's what I had to say, Sim. I think that you've been on point tonight.
Appreciate you.
You know what I mean? You know me, I'll be coming at your neck, bro, because you be critical of my boy Trey Burke.
You call it like you see it. I said
I don't like it, Sam. I like for you to give Trey Burke a chance. Everybody got to give Trey Burke a chance. Frank Ntilikina need to be our starting point guard this year. Everybody know that to start off. But Cantor ain't going to get a lot better at, the offensive posture coming off screens. That just is not his game. Anybody who want him to shoot threes, I don't think it's about the threes. It's about stretching the floor. I think you just want him to stretch the floor.
That's it.
To my man who said go in the visit, you said go in the corner? He's not Channing Frye, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to go in the corner. That's not his game. If anything, he'll be shooting from the top of the key. So I'm on Cantor right now, if anybody who wonder what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what I mean? That's not his game. Three-point game, I don't think is really what they really got to have out of him, but I think he can hit it. So that's just my take. Peace, everybody. I only had a minute. I got to jump off. I got to go back to work.
Appreciate you, man. Go back to work. Let us know how that's going, man. Let us know how it's going.
Yeah, man. I got a few more weeks, man. A few more weeks. But I try to tune in as much as I can. I can't show the set, so I really can't get on video, which I saw the other day was outside.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
It is what it is. If I ever get a chance, to show the set, I will.
All right. That's what's up, man. We appreciate that. Thank you. Well, good luck out there, man. Good luck out there, man. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and I just see D. Grant. D. Grant brought up Dennis Rodman. He said Dennis Rodman was a rebounder, and that's what he did. But you know what? Dennis Rodman was known to pull a three. Go back and look at the tapes. Dennis Rodman was known to pull 1-3 a game. 1-3 a game. He started, and that was something he started, especially when he was on the Bulls. He wasn't afraid to do it. Maybe Phil Jackson got mad with him every once in a while, but I think Phil Jackson respected it. Because Dennis Rodman did his job down there, but he was known to pull a three every now and again. Just go back and look at it. He did. I don't know what his percentage was, but I've seen Dennis Rodman pull three. And I've seen him make a three. I mean, let's get another caller on the line. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hi, good evening. My name is Ed. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
What's going on? Big up.
I listen to your show all the time. I don't usually, catch all of the show live, but I usually listen the next day. It was a really good show. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you. We're working. We're trying to grow it and just make it better,
Yeah. So what are you guys talking about? You guys are talking about Cantor, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about Cantor. We're about to move on from that in a minute, but we were talking about Cantor and, should he, expand his game to the 3-point line. And I'm not talking about expanding where he we try to make him a knockdown 3-point shooter, but just enough so that defenses respect him.
Yeah, well, I definitely think it's something that's possible. I know it's his practice, but I did see the one video where he hit 14 straight. So I definitely think it's possible for him. So I mean, if it's something that helps the team, he'll stretch the floor a little bit. I don't see there's anything wrong with that. It'd be great if he can improve on defense, but so I don't think that's going to happen. But whatever you can do on offense to help the team play a lot better, that'd be great. I did have something else I wanted to say, though. So basically, I do kind of into math and stuff. And so I looked at a lot of the stats for basically for the Knicks last year. And, obviously, we allow a lot of points. I think from looking at the numbers, I think a lot of their issues is not really with the offense. Because 104 a game is not terrible, but 108 points, when you allow 108 points, that's pretty bad right there. Right. And so if you kind of think about it, is really if they just kind of allow 2 less field goals a game, I mean, it takes a lot of help, hard work. It's easier said than done, but it's kind of simple as that. I ran it through through a model. And if they basically were able to bring down their points allowed to 104 points a game, they actually get to about 42 wins. They can get to 42 wins, and that means they basically hold their offensive output static. And I basically used all the numbers that they got after they lost KP, and so in my opinion, I just think defense is where is their biggest problem. It's not necessarily their offense. I mean, their offense is not great, but if they want to win some games this year, they just got to play better defense.
Okay. Well, I mean, I certainly hope so because that's David Fizdale. That's what he wants. You know what I mean? No cupcakes, right? That's what he wants. So let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's true. I mean, it's. They have the the horses to play defense, and a lot of these guys are really young. And I know it's a mindset, but I think it's definitely something they can get these young kids to do. Yeah, especially to play defense. All these kids are they're all freaking 22 years old. So
exactly.
They're basically little kids. So you can get them to do just about anything you want. So.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that he can kick him in the gear, man. Let's hope he can kick him in the gear. Hey, I appreciate the call. All right, and have a great weekend. I'll be back Sunday night. As a matter of fact, on Sunday night, me and the entertainer were actually, and I'll let you guys know, but me and the entertainer were actually going to go on live for a little bit before the Giants game and maybe even during. We'll see, but we'll let you guys know just so we can talk some Giants. It's going to be on the NBNY channel. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that.
All right.
But I'll definitely be on Sunday night, 10:30.
All right, cool. Thanks for hearing me out.
Appreciate it, man. Peace. All right, enough on Inez Cantor. We've had a lot of arguing in this show. A lot of arguing, a lot of disagreements. I figured that was going to be with, we're talking about Trey Burke, Moutier, Kyrie Irving. I figured there was going to be a lot of arguing in this show, a lot of debating in this show, but that's cool. That's good. The next thing I want to talk about a basketball charter school. Maybe some of you guys seen this article. Maybe some of you guys did. But New York Knicks legend Earl the Pearl Monroe wants to help start a basketball-themed charter school. I just want to, I want to bring it up, and I want to get you guys, your guys' feedback on it and what you guys think about it. I actually think it's a good idea, and basically what it's going to be is going to be a school that clearly focuses around basketball, but not just basketball itself. It would also focus on sports medicine, announcing, different aspects of the basketball game. It's supported by former NBA commissioner David Stern. He would be on the board. And it's actually already, an application has already been submitted to the SUNY Charter Schools Institute. I think it would be a great idea. You'd have people learning, sports encompasses so many different things. So it's not just, my daughter, she plays basketball. She wants to be a physical therapist, though. She's wanted to do something in medicine ever since she was young. She wanted to be a vet. Now she's gotten so deep into basketball, she wants to be a physical therapist. So, and that's one of the things that they mentioned in this charter school. You start teaching kids how to be a physical therapist. You train kids how to be a general manager, how to run an executive office. So you're teaching them business management, how to manage finances, right? So now you're teaching financial management. Nutrition obviously is a big part of sports. I mean, if you look at sports, it encompasses everything. And I think it's an excellent idea, especially for kids. Listen, I'm going to be blunt. You're looking at kids that, if you're talking about kids that come from the hood, man, sports is so big. Football, basketball, baseball, track. Sports is so big, and so many kids from the hood look at sports as a way to get out. But the reality is that as far as being a professional athlete, only so many kids, so many people are going to make it. And when you play professional basketball for like the ABA, you don't get paid much. You might get paid $50 a game. If you go overseas, you might get paid a little bit. Right? So it's important. If you use basketball as a hook, especially when you're talking about urban neighborhoods, basketball is the game for the most part. And, you hook these kids in talking about basketball, but then they get in and they're actually learning something else. And because it's important, and this is important to me, that, kids that come from the neighborhoods that I come from learn to be something more than just athletes, but actually learn and aspire to be things other than athletes, because athletes obviously get the glamour, stuff like that, but there's only so many of them. It's like hitting the lotto. It's like hitting the lotto to be a professional athlete, a real professional athlete, not just, I don't want to say a real professional athlete. If you're making, $20,000 a year, you're a pro athlete. I get it. But to really make the money and to live the kind of life that you see LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, those guys living, is, that's you got a better chance of hitting the lotto. You know what I mean? And a lot of African American kids, that's what they see, that's what they want to be, that's what they want to do. And it's not just African American kids, but coming from my neighborhood, where I came from, that's what they see. So I think it's important for them to, aspire to be some other things, but having basketball as a hook that brings them in, and then they see all the different things that they can do around basketball, and then sports, itself, I think it's important because then, they get to see, well, you know what? I love basketball, but I can be a general manager. I can be the executive. I can be a coach. I could be a physical therapist. I can be the nutrition person. All of that. So I think it's, I really like this idea. I really like this idea, and I hope that it passes. I hope the application is accepted into the SUNY Charter Schools Institute, and that it actually comes into fruition. And it's something that's been in the works, I guess. If you read the article, I forgot the date, but there's a date when it would actually, take place. So kudos, and there'll be, if this is successful, I think there'll be more schools like this, because this isn't just a school where people are able to, you just go there and you learn how to play basketball. You take some classes, learn how to play basketball. It's not that. There's schools like that already. It's not that. This is a school that would bring kids in and actually teach them about the business of basketball and all the other aspects of basketball and professional sports. So kudos. I think that's great. I really do. It's something that I would like to be a part of. It really is. And, if it's successful, I think it'll pop up all around. So, big shout out to Earl Pearl Monroe. I believe, who else was part of it? There was a couple other people that's part of it. Sean, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever he's calling himself now. It's no longer P. Diddy. I forgot what his name is now. But he opened up one charter school, a while back, and he is, I believe he's going to be part of this if it happens. So yeah, kudos, man. Big shout out. Big shout out to them fellas, man. So there we go. We're down to the last words. It's been an entertaining show. Entertaining show. One of them shows where I had to wear my bulletproof vest, but I can do it. I can deal with it. I can rock the bulletproof. I can take the bullets. I can take the shots. So shoot them, throw the arrows. I got you. I like that though. I like it because I don't like when, some people are going to agree with me, but sometimes you get people that just agree with me just because, I'm hosting the show. If you don't agree with me, disagree with me, and we can have a talk about it. That's cool. That's what's up with it. But we're going to get on to these last words. You know what I mean? Oh, now what's up with this, man? My man just joined us in the chat. You know what I'm saying? What's popping, bro? What's good with you, man? How come you join us? You be joining us mad late sometimes.
My bad, Sam. I don't know what I say, man. Family, man, dealing with the kids late, and then it's the time that everybody sleeps. So now I can,
okay,
get on
I'm
it.
with you.
Crazy.
Yeah. Hey, one second, man. Hey, Rudy Tay, you said Sim, I can try and get him on this show. Who are you referring to? About getting him on the show. Are you talking about Earl Pearl Monroe? If you're talking about Earl Pearl Monroe, please hit me up because I would love to have Earl Pearl on the show. So, Rudy Tay, let me know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up. You should have my email. If not, let me throw my email in the chat right quick. You know what I mean? So you can hit me up. Let me know what you're talking about there. You know what I'm saying? That would be, pretty epic, right? You know what I mean? There we go. Just threw it in there. All right, so what's popping with you, bro? What's up with you, man?
You talking to me, Sam?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh man, well, hey man, shout out to chat. Hey, I've been chilling, watching the chat. Like I said, everybody know, I'm still riding with Moody. I'm riding with you with your points that you were saying. I definitely, Hey, chill, man. Hey, chill. You know what I'm saying? It's my turn to rock. Let me rock this mic, Hey, but like you said, Sam, I look forward to, seeing this new Knicks regime, regardless of, like I said, who the 15 that coach pick out of the group. Outside of that, definitely Knox, still number one. I forgot what the other couple points that we was talking about. But the school thing, that school thing is awesome. I think, stuff like that, we're going to see more of those little prep schools. Well, not, ideal prep schools, but like you said, those basketball academies, and stuff like that. But again, for them to emphasize on business development for these young kids to see that again, it's more the sports than just playing them. Actually the people behind the scenes is making even more money or just as much money as a lot of the 1% of athletes who make those big money checks.
That's right, and not only that, and they get some other perks behind the scenes too. So. Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? That's a great thing. Definitely a positive thing, man. But unfortunately, you join us when we coming down to the end of the show, man.
Hey, I understand. I got to speak my word. Anyway. I just wanted to talk crazy to Angie and holler at Vivid. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's always good. It's always good. It's always love, Sim.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm glad you joined us anyway, man. I'm glad you joined us anyway. And I know I meant to email you. I know you sent me your email. I meant to email you, but did you get a chance to come up with any awards for the show tonight?
Well, I'm still working on it, but I do have a donkey tonight, man. Okay. So you call us tonight. We're excellent, man. Yeah. So I had to dig deep to find a donkey tonight. And I saw a comment in the comment section that disturbed me.
All right.
Kyle Williams. I'm talking to you, Kyle Williams. Called Earl the Toro a Nigerian scam artist.
Oh, that's nasty. Right. Hey. You might deserve to be X-nayed on the Oop.
We don't talk about the OG like that. So you, sir, are donkey of the night.
Wow. Kyle Williams won donkey of the night. I know they got emojis in there. Do they have a donkey emoji in there?
They got to.
In appearance.
Everyone just spam the donkey emoji. Just let it rip on the comment section. Kyle Williams, you are donkey of the night, sir.
Kyle Williams, you got the donkey of the night, bro, for talking about the legend Earl the Pearl Monroe.
No.
That's rough, man. Right. That's rough. Yeah. That's rough. All right, so
that joke wasn't funny.
All right, well, this is what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna go ahead and get into, and I'm gonna email you tonight. All right, okay. I ain't gonna email you, and I'm gonna give you my number so we can text back and forth or something.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get into these last words. All right. Oh, look, he responded back to you, and he said he's sorry for offending your uncle. Hey, sorry for offending your uncle.
That's all of our uncle. That's all of our uncle.
Yeah.
That's his Paul.
All right, Isaiah. I'm gonna let Isaiah go first because Isaiah is tired as a mug, man.
Always.
Listen, let me tell you something. I think his girlfriend is gonna think he's cheating on her with the chat because usually you fall asleep, talking to your girl on the phone or whatever it is. He falls asleep talking to the chat. I mean, his girl might be getting mad, man. I mean, what's up with that?
Seb, you know what's real funny about that? My girl gets on me because I'll be knocked out on her couch. We be watching a movie, I'll be knocked out, and she gets so mad. But I'll be like, I'll work all day, I go to school, I'll be knocked out, bro. I'll be tired, man. I'm sorry, man. I'll be tired. I'm trying to get this education, all right, man.
I feel you. That's what's up. Get your education.
But no,
do, man.
But first of all, Kyle Williams, you can't talk about Black Jesus. What is wrong with you? That's Black Jesus. You can't talk about Black Jesus. Come on, man. That's blasphemy, man. That boy got his numbers on the rappers. He's come on now. But last words though, man. Listen. Boston fans, don't be talking smack. Listen. If Scott Perry or Steve Miller didn't say it didn't come out their mouth, I wasn't awake. But all I'm gonna say is, don't talk about them. If they ain't say it, I don't know what we talking about. If they ain't say it, I don't believe it. But last thing I want to say is I'm praying for everybody down south, man. North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm praying for everybody. I hope everybody's okay. Hope they evacuated everything. If anybody's down there, praying for you.
Yes, sir.
That's it. I'm going to sleep.
And
hey, yo, one more thing. The entertainer. I got a brand new nickname for you. You the Italian stallion. You're our favorite. You're our favorite Italian on the chat. Christopher.
All right,
Christopher.
All right, later, man. Peace, man. Let me get him out. He's tired, man. Get him out of here. He's tired. All right, Rob, I got you. It's Rob, right? It's Rob, right?
Yeah, Rob the Knick in North Carolina.
Oh, right. That's what's up, man. Hopefully you're safe down there, man. Hopefully
we don't even have no rain yet.
Okay.
And I'm in the western part of the state, so we ain't gonna really do too much over this side. But I just say, just like this here to them Boston fans, they perpetrate and they try to bait us into doing something dumb. Put that out there, then by deadline, thinking that we gonna give up somebody to get Kyrie early. Nope, we gonna wait it out. Didn't work. Peace.
All right, bro. Have a good one, man. Hope you join the chat. Whenever you
I'll be
join
back.
the video chat.
I'll be back.
All right, no doubt, man. Peace, man.
All right.
Later.
All right, peace.
All right, let me see. Viv, I'm coming to you, Viv, man. Coming to you.
All right. What's up, chat? Shout out to the chat. Shout out Prince Ant, everybody else on video chat that was here this evening. Hopefully everybody down in North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, they all safe. They all, they all found, got evacuated or whatever. But a couple things. One, the basketball charter school, great idea. You can so many different life skills and so many different things you can kind of incorporate into the curriculum. You can go anywhere from math, science, even someone wants to go into like the legal side, understanding how to read, write, contracts, all this other fun stuff. You can really work with a curriculum to get everyone the skills they need to do, they need to learn, but also having that well-rounded background. It's a great idea.
Exactly. Yeah.
The second thing, last thing, I know Ruben mentioned this, so this is my little response to Ruben. Look, there have been players who have learned new tricks over the years. Players who didn't come into the league with any sort of semblance of a three-point shot, took no three-point shots, and all of a sudden you see guys taking 4, 5, 6 three-point shots. When Brook Lopez came to the league in 2008. I don't think he attempted 1 3. And with the Lakers, I believe he shot almost over 200 threes. And he shot about 1.5 to 2 a game. Are we asking Enes Kanter to shoot that many threes a game? No. But just having someone just learn a couple things, I guess, why can't we expect that? Players do it all the time, so why can't we expect that?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Definitely. And everything you just said about that school, man, 100%. For sure.
Yeah.
All right, Viv. Make sure you guys check out his blog posts on nothing-but-knicks.com. Got a couple more blog posts up there. Make sure you go check it out. And
you got more on the way up before Sunday. I couldn't get anything up today, but it'll probably be there before Sunday.
Okay, great. Looking forward to it, man.
All right,
Viv. Peace. Have a good weekend. And it's on you, man. It's on you.
What's up, Sam? I want to talk about the charter school. I think it's a good idea. I watch a lot of college basketball. As you know, I'm a big UConn fan, so I'm always in tune with the AAU scene, the prep school scene, and a lot of the times we get these basketball schools that are like, schemes. They're a joke.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's not really school. It's like a farm system,
Yeah, basketball factories or something.
But like Earl DePoro is he's the kind of guy that I trust to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's a good idea. I'm excited to see how that turns out. Emmanuel Mudiay, his goals for this year, like when you teach somebody how to play basketball, third and second graders, and you say no 3-pointers, don't shoot no threes, free throw line and below, learn how to pass, learn how to make layups, and learn how to play defense. He needs to go back to the fundamentals and just become a good basketball player again. You know, and his cancer, I don't mind him shooting threes. I don't mind it, but I don't mind the idea of it. But I don't know if I trust in his cancer. In his cancer, if you let him shoot 1 3, he's gonna shoot 4 threes.
Okay,
it's just his personality.
Oh right.
So
I got you. I got you on that, and maybe that's what some people like. With who's Mark, he's always like, nah, I don't want him out there shooting threes because maybe that might be it right there. You know that he just can't control it.
Right.
He start going crazy on us or something.
That's a fact. So that's what I'm afraid of. But if Fizdale can reel him in and keep him under control, I'm not mad at the idea.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll see what we could do. But all right, and I'm gonna definitely send you an email tonight.
I bet. All right. You guys on a Sunday. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Sunday night. All right, peace, man. Have a good weekend.
All right. You too.
The Prince, saw you, bro. Since you came in late, I figured I'd let you get a little extra screen time.
I appreciate it, Sam, man. But just going back to the top of the show, well, let's wait on Kyrie. Definitely, let's not be stupid and give none of our assets moving forward. We know Boston game. Let's just wait it out. And even if he don't show up, next free agency, we'll draft a point guard or prayerfully one of the point guards we got play pretty good, So with that being said, that's cool. In this shooting threes, I'm with it. Like you said, him stretching the floor and open up spacing so that we got other lanes to be able to get to the basket easier. I'm with that. Like you said, I'm pretty sure Fizdale, he's gonna put some type of heat check on him, where he's not gonna just let him get out there and shoot 5-6 trays a game. But again, he'll let him do in the flow of the offense, however they feel like they're going to play basketball. I think he'll understand when he should do that. And like you said, it makes the defense, like I remember my stepdad told me young when I was a youngster hooping with him, and I was hooping with older guys. And I was more of a facilitator. I didn't want to shoot. And he told me, hey, man, if you're not going to shoot the ball, nobody on the court is going to look at you as a threat. So, again, you have to be some type of a threat on the court. So, with saying that, in the shooting threes is only going to make teams and defenses respect our offense more, with him on the pick and pops and things like that. So, look forward to seeing that, Sam. Hey, and big ups to you, man, with the sponsorships, man. Keep doing your thing, bro. Keep growing the check. Keep spreading this culture, this Knick culture, man. Keep doing it, bro. Keep doing
it, man. And look, they're not full sponsorships yet, but I'm working towards it. Let's put it like that.
Hey, speaking into existence, bro.
Exactly.
Speaking into existence, man.
It's not full out sponsorships yet, but I'm working towards it. We got a little something going on. Let's just say partnerships. Let's just say that. I got a couple partnerships going on. You know what I mean?
Hey, you deserve it. You deserve it, bro. Keep growing this thing, man. Let's keep doing this thing because, like you said, this Knick movement, man. This train is about to take over. We already moving, but once we get downhill with no brakes, it's gonna be scary. That's what's gonna be scary.
Me and Chris the Entertainer were talking the other day, and we were like, "Look, one of these days, we want to be able to get up where we taking 500 Knick fans, to go into Boston."
It be K Knick fans though.
You know what I'm saying? NBK Knick fans. We got 500 Knick fans going into the Celtics, into the Boston Garden, and taking that joint over. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're trying to grow it to. You know what I mean? We going into Philly and taking it over.
Hey, like I said, I'm out here in Michigan. I'm going to the Detroit game on the 27th. Like I said, I got to buy my tickets, but me and my old lady going to go there. My birthday is actually the 22nd, which is Thanksgiving. But that Tuesday, New York come to Detroit. So I'm going to go to that game. But I'm going to try to take some film and try to, shoot you some stuff. Because, we're going to be talking on the chat. So either I'm going to be on the way home talking to y'all and on the chat or something. But, hey, like you said, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and listen, get $20 off, man. Use that.
Yeah, I am, and I seen that. I am. I'm definitely because I was looking at SeatGeek, and I was like, okay, Sim, I like that partnership because I had seen that somewhere else. I think on YouTube, and when I was looking up the tickets, and I seen SeatGeek because what was the old StubHub? They don't do NBA tickets. You can't get NBA tickets through StubHub. So. But yeah, man, hey, partnership, part-time partnership is moving into big things, bro. So keep doing the thing, man.
Bro,
Shout out to Chat, man.
All right, man. Have a good one, Prince. Take care of that family,
Peace.
bro. Keep taking care of that family.
Always.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, man. Later. Yes, sir. My friends, my people. 500 strong. That's what we're trying to do. We're gonna do it. We just gotta keep building. We just gotta keep letting it. We just keep building the community. Anyone you know, Knicks fans you know, put them onto the chat. Put them onto the show. So that we can keep building this community up. Because that's what we want to do. We want to take 500 Knicks fans, 1,000 Knicks fans into one of these rival city and let them know what time it is. You know what I mean? Because we coming for them. We coming for all of them. Word up. We coming for them. I do want to make an announcement that when the season begins, when preseason begins, and then into the season, the schedule will change a little bit. Because then after every game, I'll be on live after every game. So just be on the lookout for that. All right, that when games start to play, I'll be on after every game. Usually, the games usually end about 10. I'll be on at 10:30. Even the West Coast games, end at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna be on at 1:30. You know what I mean? So just be on the lookout for that. And of course, I'll announce it. You know what I mean? I'll announce it to make sure everybody knows. But I want more. I want more people calling in. I want more people getting into the video chat. You know what I'm saying? Because this is all about the fans and bringing fans together. You know what I mean? How about Brooklyn? Yeah, we just go and take over the whole Brooklyn, the whole Barclays Center. We're gonna take it all over. They probably won't sell us the tickets. That's what they try to do in DC. You know what I mean? I called them up because if anyone is interested in doing a DC game November the 4th, hit me up, let me know, because I'm trying to set up a package with the Wizards, similar to what I just did with the Garden, to go to the Wizards game. But, when I talked to him, it was like he wasn't trying to sell a group package to us because we were Knicks fans, because like last year, I guess they had like 100 Philadelphia fans go into the Wizards, arena, Capital One Arena, whatever it is, and kind of took it over. They were loud. They were louder than the Wizards fans and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, they wasn't trying to, I talked to him. He was like, all right, you're talking about 20 people. So, they did it for us. They'll do it for us. So if you're interested in going to that Wizards game, if you live in Maryland, Virginia, even Philly, and you want to, I don't care if you live in New York and you want to go. It don't matter to me. I'm just saying, people that's around the area, you want to go to the Wizards game, holla at me, man. Let me know what's good. We down to the last words. I want to give a big shout out to Earl of Pearl Monroe. And this is where I want to end it because it is important. It's important, especially in the Black community. It's very important where you have, a lot of estranged families, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the Black community, and there's some things that we've got to do, to repair years and years and generations of oppression and pain. And so we're here now, and one of them is, our young Black men and women not understanding what they actually can be. And so schools like what Earl of Pearl Monroe is trying to get implemented, and it's not just Earl of Pearl Monroe, he's a big name of a big piece of it, but those type of schools are important to teach these young men and women, and especially in the African American community, but in all communities, everywhere, of course, but to teach these young men and women, that there's something more out there than, just sports and music and acting. You know what I mean? There's something more out there that they can achieve and go get. So, that to me is just super important. So I really respect it. And I think it was Rudy Tay, I think his name was. If you can get Earl of Pearl on, I would love to talk to him about it because it's something that's very dear to me. Education is very dear to me. Teaching those type of life skills and lessons is very dear to me. It's the reason why I coach basketball. I don't coach basketball, for any kind of fame or to try to prove myself, or I just do it because, I love what it provides, the lessons that you can teach through basketball to our youth, because there's just so many lessons in so many ways. I mean, I've helped kids learn how to manage their anger. I've helped kids who were bouncing around from home to home, sleeping on my couch, so that they could, and being with me in times of need, when their family was in times of need, and maybe they didn't have food in their homes, and all kind of things that sports caters to, so I don't take it lightly. I don't take it lightly. But with that being said, I thank you guys for joining me. All right. And I'm looking forward to speaking with you guys on Sunday night, 10:30. You know what I mean? Let's have a good time. Have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you guys Sunday night. Peace.